Oh, this is that Monday swag, baby. Yo, this feels good.
I wish I knew. I can't see.
Who is up on that Jack Harlow right now? What's popping? What's going on, everyone? Stephen Michael here with Filthbomb Breaks, coming to you live from the House of Wax right here in Long Island, New York on June 15, 2020. The time's 12:15 p.m. Eastern, and I'm here with my co-host, Lou Zolo. Lou Zolo, what's popping? Brand new whip just hopped in.
We need to give some time for people to get in. What are you dancing on the other end? I don't know. I'm in my corner.
I'm dancing. You're in your corner in that chair that's from the 1800s, looking like you stole it from Game of Thrones.
I wish.
You did. I think you did steal it from Game of Thrones.
Dude, what's wrong with the chair? It fits perfectly.
Bro, the chair looks like what coronavirus I envision Corona looking like.
That's pretty funny. Like. My chair is an analogy of what the coronavirus would be if it was wood.
Yeah, you have a Corona chair.
Whatever. All I know is when we first were doing the podcast and I had all those other chairs, I was never on the screen. I finally get one that fits exact, and you make fun of it.
Because what's popping? Brand new whips.
Right.
Scott.
Check this out real quick. I know you're all excited to talk about baseball, which we were going to do, but we were going to get started at noon, and we went on a tangent for 15 minutes talking about the buy-sell trade room. I think we should talk about that. That was awesome. We should have been live that whole time.
Because you get me riled up, man.
Because I ask you fair questions. I ask you actual consumer questions. That's why. And then you get annoyed because I talk to you so much. You think in your head, like you don't think so with your words, but in your head, you think I should be like on the same page as you of understanding. And I don't get a lot of the things that you do. So I ask you about them. That's it. You have that demeanor where you get so passionate, so it gets under your skin, which you know I love. But these are very fair questions. I think we should address them to the room. Could we talk about it?
Yeah, we could. I don't care. But
sure?
I do have a question for you first, if you don't mind.
Okay, right. Go ahead.
All right, my question for you is as follows. You ready?
I know you're going to make fun of me about something.
Oh, I love it! Jack Harlow, baby, get up on that. What's popping? I'm about to, we're going to start collaborating with other artists. That's what we're going to start doing, getting my favorite artists of the time on the show eventually. That's what we're going to do. What's popping?
Who?
I like Jack Harlow, man. Jack Harlow goes hard, that song.
Who's your favorite artist of all time?
No, I didn't say of all time. I said of the time.
Who is it? That guy?
I like Jack Harlow, yeah. That's the only song I know of him right now, but yeah, if his other stuff sounds like that, I'm in.
A side note, this isn't even what we're talking about, but you see how we go on tangents? This is why I love comments. What are they talking about? Let's talk about Stacks, 2 hours and 45 minutes. Ed Thibault and David Little. What are they talking about?
Oh, my God. They're talking about one of the worst nights of my life last night. That's what they're talking about.
What do you mean?
So we ran
Let's talk about that first.
All right? We ran stats last night. I'm trying to help my brother out. I'm trying to get him accustomed to the camera, trying to get him, familiar with some product. So I have, what better way than stacks, right? It's like a million different cards. You don't know what you're pulling out. He has no idea. He's pulling out the cards. Yeah. He's on camera. Little did I know, well, I did know, but I didn't expect it. It was a nightmare because we froze our website. There was so much demand for the stacks that the website crashed. We sold 100 stacks in like a minute. And I had to take stacks down so no one else could buy because I didn't realize. So our stacks was 5 cards. Everybody gets 5 cards.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it was going to take like 5 minutes per person because we were letting them pick their numbers at first. So all of a sudden I'm doing the math in my head. I'm like, hold on. We got 100 different orders. 5 minutes. I was like, 500 minutes. I was like, I'm going to throw up. I was already at the end of the day. And now I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm going to be here till 4 a.m. So I had to refund people. It just got ugly. I had to refund some people. And people were waiting for like 4 hours. It was ugly.
Hey, that's a nice problem to have.
It is, but I felt
come on. Now all of a sudden you're refunding people because you don't have the time. You used to be sitting there waiting, drinking your coffee.
No, but it was for my brother. That's why I was trying to get him accustomed. And like the last thing I wanted to do after 5 breaks was sit there for 4 hours doing stacks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was brain dead. I was fried. And now
Man, I'm not getting. Go ahead.
No, and then I'm there just like.
I'm not getting notifications. I didn't even know you did this.
Yeah.
Is it on there? I want to go look and make fun of it.
Yeah, you could definitely go look at it and make fun of it. So,
Sweet.
anyways, let's
Yeah.
talk about what you wanted to talk about earlier. Go.
All right. This is how the conversation even started. Okay, and I think this was a fair question. Now you could explain it. When you were buying certain cards for the crack packs, and you would hit up people, including myself, and you'd be like, "Listen, I'm paying 70% of comps." My question to you was, why would anybody sell you at 70% when they could get 100%?
You want to know why?
Well,
And I
yeah.
think I had a good point, didn't I?
No, you did. It made sense. That's why I asked. Listen, I knew you weren't just coming across saying, "Listen, I'll give you 70%," because obviously there's no rhyme or reason. There has to be a reason you knew about when you made that offer. I just didn't know what it was. So maybe you should explain it so everybody else does.
Well, this is the question I'll say. All right, go get 100% for your card.
Right.
In theory, it's amazing, right? Like, wow, I could get 100% for my... How many times have you had a card and you got 100% for your card? Not only are you going to have brain damage posting your card, like, all right, listen, if you have the ability to sell in the buy-sell trade room, it's different because if it's like a certain card, it's hot, priced right, yeah, obviously they're going to fill in lines. But for the most part, how often do you have a card, put it on eBay, and it sells right away? Never,
None for me.
Never.
None for me.
Never. It doesn't happen. And then if you want to sell on Facebook, your card's worth $300. Hey, would you take $200? No, I won't, you lowballer. All right, great. Would you take $250? Now we're having the same talk anyway, where you could have just sold it for 70% and not have to worry about shipping it because it's in my possession already anyway, so you don't have to worry getting scammed by somebody. And anyway, think of it like this. If you're selling on eBay, you're taking home 86% anyway. Then you have to ship it. There's more costs out of your pocket. And then you run the chance of somebody scamming you because the market fluctuated. So that's my point. Like, you don't want any headaches. You own the card right. I'll give you 70% so I can put it in my product. You know, because I have the avenue that I could sell. It doesn't have to be a particular card. It just has to be a good card. So with crack packs, it allows me to move inventory. So that's why I offer 70%, which I think is fair. Like, no one's really going to offer more than that unless it's like a really primo product, like a Brady rookie or Jordan rookie. Like, at 70%, that's what I deem being a fair price.
Which, now that you said it, now give me a minute to explain this. This is the touchy part of the whole subject. So when you said that, my rebuttal was this. Yeah, but somebody like me, for instance, who posted something in the buy-sell trade room at 100% comps and it moves, why would I sell at 70? And then your rebuttal was, yeah, for certain cards. But the high-end stuff, you wouldn't be able to do. And if you did, I mean, let's be realistic, you're going to have people that are not too thrilled about it because they don't get the opportunity to do it as much also.
And also...
So, wait, hold on. But my rebuttal was this. I just want to say one more sentence, then you could explain this. Because this is actually something I feel like needs to be said for certain people, including myself. When I say we, I say people who spend a large amount of money in the room should have the perks of selling higher end stuff. I mean, just because we don't buy low doesn't mean we should not sell high on certain things. We spend the money. We should be able to post stuff more expensive than the average buyer who just spends, say, 20, 30, 40 bucks a week in a break.
I agree.
No?
Well, listen, from my chair, it's very hard because you have to be politically correct. And not saying that the person that spends more money doesn't deserve to have more privileges, but it's not fair at the same time for the person that doesn't spend money because they can't to not have the same rights as that person. So I try to be fair to everyone.
Listen, your reasoning, I completely understand. And by the way, your reasoning actually affects me negatively. And I still understand because I get it. You have to, it's your room, the brand, you have to make everybody happy across the board or it's going to be total anarchy. I understand that. But just like any business, anywhere, right? You'll have platinum members, gold members for a reason because people who spend money should be rewarded differently. Just because somebody, listen, I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. This is lack of option of words. I'm not saying this generally. But say somebody who's on the low end and can't afford to buy certain things. That's personally not my problem. I'm spending money. I should be able to capitalize in a capitalism country to make money. I mean, true or false?
No, but I agree to an extent. But at the same time, say somebody doesn't spend a lot of money, but they get
Yeah.
lucky, they hit a $10,000 card,
Right.
they're going to want to sell it. And if I
Yeah.
say no, they're going to be like, well, why does he get to sell the $10,000 card? And it's not in my spot to say because he spends money. Like, that's...
No, but that's hitting the lottery. Like somebody who hits something that everybody would have to expect. See, you know what? Let me give you an exact example. When I did the Griffey and when Derek lined the Deca booklet, right? Somebody who I consider, this is nobody particular, but what I'm saying is anybody I saw complaining, like, why do they get to post $1,000 or $2,000 card? To me, I found that to be selfish on their end, because either way, that card is worth what it is. I thought personally, when I did the Griffey, that I was doing the room a solid. I thought I was giving back to the community by giving everybody a chance to get something great for $10. Like, I thought that was a nice thing to do. I didn't think it was selfish on my end to collect 900 on a card that's worth that. I thought it was actually a present. Hey, for $10, you could have this. But then you have certain people, well, why is he selling a card for 900? Like,
but listen, this is also what you have to understand. This is what you have to understand too. 99.9% of the general public wants the most back with the least given, right?
Of course.
It's just human nature.
Of course.
So,
yes.
Therefore, we have probably combined between the business page, between all the other platforms we have, on Facebook alone, we probably have close to 20,000 people.
Yeah.
Every one of those people has high-end cards, probably, or cards they consider high-end that they want to sell. Once you open up that can of worms, or Pandora's box, so to speak, it gets ugly fast. I have this card. I want to sell my... I have a Daniel Jones.
Hold on, no. But hold on. And I agree with you. But if you notice, the high-end cards being sold in the Filthbomb buy-sell trade room have all been pulled in Filthbomb.
Yes.
Nobody's listed $1,000 or more card that's not been pulled by you.
They've tried.
Okay, but...
Decline.
Decline. But what I'm saying is the ones that have been approved have been pulled here, which technically, if you remember, rule number 1, before you took the training wheels off, remember, it had to be pulled in your room to be sold in the room. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was the rule. Then you took the training wheels off and you gave people more freedom. But at one point, it was, you get it here, you could sell it here, regardless of worth. And so far, we have not taken advantage of that. All high-end cards have been pulled by you. So
and at the same time, look at what I do. Like, it's my room, technically. I could sell every day a high-end card, and I don't. And it's for that reason. Like, I don't want to be seen as if I'm trying to do that and not let other people. Like, so the only card I lined that was expensive was a Trout rookie. That one time. Yeah. And it wasn't even in the buy-sell trade room. So it's like...
without naming names, do you remember who won it?
Yeah. Okay.
The person who won it, just out of curiosity, doesn't matter if it's a million of them, but how many spots did that person have?
2, I think.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Let's say you made $3,400. Let's just forget about what you actually made profit. Just for argument's sake, you made $3,400. But it was your card. The person who won it just got a $3,400 card for $20, shipped to their house, shipping and everything, $20. How is that not doing justice for everybody else? You see what I'm saying? Okay, you made $3,400, but you had the supply. The demand is $3,400, but somebody got it for $20.
Because the problem is there's so many more people that want to sell than they want to buy. And that's where it gets ugly. Mm-hmm. So many more. It's so much easier to buy a card than to sell a card. And people don't realize that. It's so easy to spend your money in the hobby. It's so much harder to get it back. Yeah. And that's why I try not to capitalize on that aspect in the buy-sell trade. I try to make it for the community. I try to make it for the admins. As one of your perks, you guys once in a while can sell a high-end card. But for the most part, I try to keep it low-end. Just make it fun. Get in people's stuff. They get in your stuff in return. Everybody has a good time. And if you do get lucky and hit something in the break room, go ahead. Make $3,000 on a huge card. You know what I mean?
Right. I do. And by the way, you got to understand, everything I'm saying now is playing devil's advocate. Right? It doesn't mean that I'm against everything you're saying. It means that I think people deserve answers on what the hell's going on. Because you know, again, certain people understand certain aspects of what you say. Right? Everybody wants to take the words that they hear and mold it into their benefit. right or wrong. And that's what they do all the time on these lines. We see it
all the
every
time.
single day. Right. But I think everybody really needs to know, because sometimes I don't even know. You know, I'm a modifier. I see what's going on. At the same time, I have the same problem sometimes myself. I'm a customer at the end of the day.
Let me say this. At the end of the day, I have a rhyme or reason for everything, right? Like, a lot of the times the admins and the mods, they don't necessarily agree with what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say it confidently. This room hasn't been around for that long, the buy-sell trade, and I think it's crushing it compared to a lot of other rooms I used to be in.
I do too.
I think people come here because they know that if they put it up and it gets approved, it'll sell.
And by the way, that's why you got to give a shout out to all the boys, all the modifiers, because I'll tell you what, when it's posted, the reason why people jump in so quick and everything closes in your room, man, in the buy-sell trade page room. Everything.
I'd say at least 90%.
Totally. And the reason is people feel safe. They don't have to go back and look for comps. They don't have to see if they're getting ripped off. They know if that's listed, it's a good price, take a shot. Because listen, how many times a day do we go through anything and then certain things that have to be discussed and then we talk about it for how long?
Yeah.
Like seriously, right?
It's brain damage.
It really is. I mean, to the point where we're all sometimes arguing, like every business, this one doesn't agree with this one, blah, blah, blah. And then it always come down to like, listen, just make a call, yes or no. It's never, you know what, without putting information that people don't need to know out there, the point is they're sleeping safe at night because we're taking care of them.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way it is.
Guys, let me be real. If it weren't for the admins, you guys would be getting crushed, especially you guys. You guys would be hopping in lines, getting the cards, and being like, wait, it's only worth 60? Why was it 10 at 12?
Absolutely.
Like, we really do protect you guys. And me not selling, here's another thing, right? Me not allowing 2020 Bowman in the room, it's not like I'm in my group selling breaks for Bowman, right? I don't even offer the product in a break format. Like, so when I made that rule, it wasn't for any other reason than to protect you guys from the market volatility of that product, and because I feel like that product is so dangerous compared to, say, a Prism. So this is what we got in an argument as admins and mods the other day in the group chat. So a couple mods were being like, listen, don't say, for example, don't say, oh, you're protecting everyone from Bowman when that's not the reason. But I'm saying, look at Prism. You could buy a case of retail Prism for $6,500 right now, open it up, and get back guaranteed in raw cards $3,000. Facts. If you get one Zion per 2 boxes, if you get the Morants, right? If you get 10 of each, if you get your 10 LeBrons, if you get some Luka first, if you get some Luka second year, some Giannis, all that stuff, without counting the hits, you're getting back $3,200 raw, most likely.
Yeah.
You open up a case of Bowman Jumbo, you're lucky. Listen, I've done it. I've made the mistakes. I told you I haven't been in the modern world for a long time, but I have gone so hard in my limited time in the modern world that I've learned more than people that have been in it for 10 years. I opened up cases of Bowman Draft myself last year. I opened up $4,000 cases. When I tell you I was looking to sell the singles and realized that best case scenario, I'm getting back $600, I wanted to get in a hole and cry. I am talking about before Filthbomb was Filthbomb. I am talking about when I didn't have much money at all and I was opening up my profits for the month on a case of Bowman Draft. And people were offering me $4 for singles that were autoed. And I only got 24 of them in the case. I wanted to throw up. And that's what's going to happen. Nothing changed. You don't get Dominguez. You don't get Witt. You're going to be in a hole.
Big one.
And that's what people don't understand. Prism, there's so many rookies. And if you grade them out, it's so safe. Basketball is so safe right now compared to baseball because baseball has gone up in price, but the singles haven't followed necessarily on most products. Basketball, the boxes have gone up, but the singles have followed. So that's
put something out. I want to put something out there to just back up what you just said. Not that you need it, but I want everybody to explain. I want to explain how you care about everybody, even when it goes against popular opinion. Could I mention that?
Yeah.
Like mod room one. All right. Just so, and I'm gonna. Everybody's a big boy here, so I'm gonna just be straight up about it. Every mod that's been going through stuff to see if things should be approved or not, we all have been pushing Steven to start letting 2020 Bowman go through. We don't understand why he won't let it happen. We keep saying to him, listen, at the end of the day, as long as they're within comms, what's the difference? Everybody here is an adult. It's not our job to monitor your spending. If you spend over your head, that's not our problem. If an overweight person goes into McDonald's and orders 50 hamburgers, they're going to get 50 hamburgers. McDonald's is not going to say, no, you look overweight, you should go on a diet. No, they're going to give it to you. So we always say to Steven, listen, the product is out. The prices are set. Let it be. If people want to sell it and buy it, buy at your own risk. He doesn't listen to any of that. His response is always what he just said to everybody just now. He will not let you go broke. And if you want to buy Bowman right now, you're going to have to get it somewhere else because he will not stand by watching you spend your money and then be broke. Because you can't hit anything in that box but an Auto Dominguez to break even. Not even make money, to break even.
That's why I will do a mixer. Like, I'll throw Bowman in a mixer to give you variety.
Right, but that's different.
Yeah,
we're talking about
50,
nonsense.
$60 on a spot, and you have different years spanned out, so there's a chance you could get people in other years as well. But, So thank you for backing up. Look, at the end of the day, my dad is an investment advisor, and he's a fiduciary, right? He doesn't sell anything on commission. So I'm kind of like the same way, like that's how I was brought up, that's how I was raised. So the definition of a fiduciary is involving trust, especially with regard to the relationship between the trustee and the beneficiary. So a fiduciary is a person who holds a legal or ethical relationship of trust with one or more other parties. A fiduciary prudently takes care of money or other assets of another person. So basically, when you are entrusting me with decisions such as what product are we going to break, what product are you going to be allowed to buy or sell on a page, like I'm looking at it through the lens of a fiduciary where I'm trying to give you guys the most value as far as what I allow you guys to buy. Like, I'm not really busting National Treasures. Like, could I buy Bowman and National Treasures at market? Because I've had people be like, oh, you're just not doing it because you're not allocated any. If I was allocated or if I wasn't, I wouldn't break it because the value's not there. I could buy this stuff at market. I could go buy a case of National Treasures right now for 14, 15K, and we could probably do serial number breaks. Like, but why? Because 99% of you guys are going to go home and lose your mortgage payment off of that product. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I hear you.
So that's how I feel.
I agree with it. I honestly do. I just, at the end of the day, I just feel like if it's out there, who are we, right? That's always my response. Who are we to dictate what people could buy and can't buy? But at the end of the day, you're going to have to, right? You, in a weird way, you have to be a parent, right? And it's your brand, so you are the dad of the whole thing. Like, you have to look out for everybody, because if you don't, nobody else is going to. That's just the bottom line.
Guys, I'm trying to shift the whole business over to basketball right now. Like, I don't know if you've seen it. Like, I'm trying slowly to get this room way more towards the basketball side. Why? There's more money in basketball for everyone. For me, for you, there's just more money in NBA right now than baseball. You can't buy a box of 2019 Bowman's Best anymore for $220 and make any money off that. Yeah. You can't. Even if you grade out, you can't do it. I could go bust a box right now of 2019-2020 Prism Retail, and if I don't hit a Zion, still come close to getting my money back after grading. As long as there's some rookies. As long as it's not a total skunk box. So it's like, I'm not going to offer. Now, I'm going to still break baseball, but you're going to see it in the way I do it now. Like some pick your team tier 1. They're fun. But anytime you get into like the investment type baseball, like Finest is going to be a great product on release. It's a fun product. No one's going to get rich off Finest, but no one's going to get broke off Finest, right? You pick your team. It's nice. You'll go after Jordan. It's whatever. But at the end of the day, if you pay $150, $160 for the Astros, you're not going broke on a case of Finest. Pick your team.
Right.
That's my point.
The only frustrating thing is, and again, I'm speaking for myself. I don't know if anybody could relate to this. And it's not a problem. It's just, okay, business wise, you came up with gold. I mean, as far as not only saving people money, but because of the way basketball's selling, you're basically making everybody money. As long as they hit one card, you're pretty much okay, right? That's the crazy part about that. Right. The only frustrating part is I know baseball, right? So any team I ever get at any time for any year, I know what I'm looking for. When you do basketball breaks and it's, a mixer of Prism 2016, I don't know who I'm looking for. I don't know who's good. I don't know what team I want. And it takes, I don't want to say the fun out, but maybe some of the fun. You understand what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't know what to be excited for. I don't know what's good. I don't know what's bad. I don't know what I'm chasing. I don't know what I'm not. So it gets frustrating sometimes.
So maybe we have to educate the consumer at the same time.
Right. I mean, right. That's what I feel like needs to be done more. Maybe, and listen, I don't know. There's ways you could do it, but maybe every single time, every box you do, this is who we're looking for. These are the hot rookies in this box. I don't know. Something like that, because I have no idea. I have zero idea with basketball. None.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Again, maybe people do. I don't know.
I mean, look, what I would say is this. If you go on right now, eBay, type in 2019, 2020, Prism Basketball, PSA 10, just type in Cam Reddish, see what he goes for. He's like one of the lower rookies, maybe. Kobe White, Rua Hachimura, Kevin Porter Jr. Like, these are guys that are like R.J. Barrett. They're not Zion. They're not John Morant. They're still going for 80 to 100 dimed out.
Right.
Jarrett Culver, 30, 40 bucks. Kyle Guy, 30 bucks. Like, on the Kings. Like,
yeah.
So many guys are, like, if you're spending 65 bucks on a random, you could get your money back times some on nobodies right now that aren't really proven.
Right.
Baseball, it's like, oh, I just hit a Alonzo rookie from 19 best. It's dimed out. It's worth 25, 30 bucks.
Like I said to you the other day, I said, what people have to understand, though, is you have to have some patience and time to make your money back, all the profit, but it will happen. Like, in other words, you're saying if you hit those cards, they're worth this, they're worth that. Remember, though, you still got to pay the $15 to get it graded. You got to wait for it to get graded. But if it gems out, you're 2 times, 3 times, 4 times your money, or at least break even. But you just got to wait it out.
This is a perfect example, okay? And then we'll get out of here. So, Lakers, okay? We do one of our Prism mixers. Is it full yet, by the way? Let me check. I put up a Prism mixer.
While you're looking, by the way, everybody, I'm sorry. Usually I always pay attention to the comments and give you shout outs. I went on such a tangent. I wasn't even looking. I'm not going to lie. Sorry if I didn't answer any of your questions today, but I just haven't been looking.
All right, here's a perfect example. All right, we're full, by the way. Thank you, guys. Get your payments in. We're going to go live in just a bit. So here's a perfect example of basketball, okay? You get the Lakers. There's not a good rookie other than Brandon Ingram in 16-17, okay? Oh, and Lonzo Ball in 17-18. But they're not high sellers, okay?
Yeah.
So you get the Lakers. We don't pull a Brandon Ingram out of 16-17. So you're like, oh, man. Okay. You don't pull a Lonzo Ball out of 17-18, right? So you're like, oh, God. But you get a Kyle Kuzma, okay?
Okay.
So now we'll look on eBay right now. 2017-18 Prism Kuzma PSA 10. Oh, the train's here. It knows the deal. All right. Right now, one just sold for 140 bucks. Base. Well, there you go. You just doubled your money on a Kyle Kuzma, and we didn't open up the last 2 boxes. So now we're going to go to 18-19. What did you pull? You pulled a LeBron James base card, okay, where he's in a Cavs uniform, but it's a Lakers card. Let's see what those go for, just out of curiosity. Real quick, we're going to sold listings. Well, a silver just sold for 230 bucks. But
So
if we
crazy.
just look at the Get Hyped insert, it sold for 45. If you look at the base, it just sold for 100. So now, you hit one of those. Okay, now we're at 260. Oh, wait, we're getting to 1920 where he's in his first ever Lakers uniform, or you could hit a Kobe, or you can hit a Magic Silver, or you can hit Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's Silver. Wait, hold on. Let's go back. You have the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks have Malcolm Brogdon in 16-17, and then no one for the rest of it, except they have one guy, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And guess what? You hit any Giannis out of any of that product, you're making money if it dimes out. So it's like, those are teams without rookies, really. You go to the Celtics, you have Jason Tatum. You hit one of his, this is like $500 dimed out in 17-18. You hit a Jaylen Brown base. Those are going for like $80 to $100 in 16-17. Like, there's so many teams. Like, there's all right, here's a perfect example. I don't know what he's going for, so I'm really throwing myself on the spot, and I could look like an idiot. 2018 Prism, Jared Allen. All right, he's on the Brooklyn Nets.
See, I don't even know who that is.
All right, they're garbage, though, in mixers. Jared Allen, PSA 10. What does he sell for?
Don't know, never heard of him.
I'm looking. So if you hit a Jared Allen, his silver is going for $60 PSA 10. Which means his base is probably, if they even have them, there's no base that's sold. What I'm saying is every team has something. And then not only that, you can hit a KD, silver KD that'll sell. So it's like, it's so safe right now. So safe. Look, Austin says, what about when you pull the Wolves? All right, for example, you pull the Wolves, you got Jarrett Culver, man. You pull let's see real quick with Jarrett Culver, right? See, everyone's going to learn today. You're going to learn today. 2020, Prism, Culver, PSA 10. Let's see what Jarrett Culver's doing, all right, on the market right now. Recent sales. So we have a Ruby Red Wave. No, that's not actually. It's a silver just sold for $150 or best offer. A silver just sold for $125. A base just sold for $60. Let's see if they have any. Ruby Red Wave sold for $70. So now you're at a lower end team and you can make your money back if you hit just one rookie dimed out. Like, are you following? You know what I mean?
I do. That's why I never trade. Listen, I never trade my teams. I don't even care if I get a crappy team. Listen, I understand the odds are in your favor when you get a team where there's a lot of hits. So obviously, you're going to expect one or two. But at the end of the day, when you're doing mixers and you have a product of a specific year of one box, that doesn't mean that that's the box that the superstars are in. That could be the box where the guy on the crap team is in, and now you just banged out a big hit.
No.
So I could understand wanting to trade. I just never understand why people get crazy. Like, oh man, I got screwed. I got this team again. So what?
I mean, there's a couple teams, if you get them, you're probably not going to hit, but that's why you have a chance of getting the Pelicans for the price you have the chance of getting the Pelicans.
That's the trade-off.
You know what I mean? Like the Pacers, you're usually going to take a bath with the Pacers.
But just because you got the Pelicans doesn't mean you're getting a Zion. And by the way, how are you going to be more disappointed if you found out you had the Pacers and you just don't get a hit, or if you actually get the Pelicans and you don't get a Zion? That's going to rip your heart out.
Yeah, and it happens all the time, and I get messages.
All the time.
Of course I wouldn't get Zion.
Yeah, with mixers, man, all the stuff I sell, 90% of it's from mixers because I hit a banger card from a team I would have never picked in a million years, and there's no sentimental value, which is even better, so you don't feel bad when you sell it and make some money. Like, I love mixers because of that.
But that's why I'm trying to get the group to pop on these mixers, because seriously, it's so much safer. Like, baseball mixers are fun, and you can make money with some teams, but that's why they're a little less expensive as well than NBA. You know what I mean? Worst case scenario in a mixer, what could happen? Like, you get a knot in your stomach because you bought in a pick your team for 30 cases, and somebody else gets one box and hits a superfractor. I mean, that never. Oh, wait a minute. It does happen twice in this room by you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Well, bottom line is this. Mixers are great because if you're going to go out right now, look, I'm a breaker. Okay, fine. I don't even like the term breaker. I'm like an entertainer. I just do this. I love it. I'm going to be so much bigger than this, though, is what you don't understand. Like, you get it, Lou. It's going to be like a lifestyle brand. It's not going to just be breaks. And I think we're one of the only people going for that right now, right? We're the only, like, this brand is a brand. That's what it is. We're not like, we break cards and we sell cards. Like, no. This is going to be like, yo, you want your fantasy fix? We got it. You want to talk to celebrities? We got it. You know,
we're going to be Barstool 2.0.
That's it. Barstool 2.0. That's like what I'm going for. But anyways, the point is this. I don't know the point now. I got off track.
The point is, if you don't do a podcast every day, we're never going to make it.
Here's the point.
Noontime, Monday through Friday.
Wait, let me finish before I get off track. So this is the point. If you go to a store right now, you are not getting a box for less than $100 unless it's archives with one card in it, and you're getting a Scott Brocious to 20. All right. So you could get in a break right now for $40, $50, $60 and have a shot at some huge cards. You cannot go to any store right now with $50, $60 and have a shot at anything unless you want to go buy some overpriced blasters from your local card store. That's it. That's facts. Bottom line. There's no debating it. You want to go buy a box of Bowman for $260, $300? Be my guest. Go. You're going to be left with one auto that's worth $10 at best, and you're going to have a bunch of paper, and you're going to be trying to sell them and recoup your money for the next 3 days where you're losing your opportunity cost, and you're going to get back, if you're lucky, $30 off your box. Or you could dump that into a break, and you could spread it out a lot more, and you'll get more cards most likely than you would get out of that one box of Bowman. And it's facts. It is facts. Like, if you look at the average box right now on the market being purchased, and then you look at what comes out compared to what you would get for that same price in breaks, you're getting more cards more likely than, and worth more money than you would get out of that hobby box. It's facts. It really is. Like, I could open up any box here that you would get from your hobby store for retail, and you wouldn't get as much value you would out of a break. Unless you get lucky. But you have to get lucky in both anyway.
Yep.
So, that's it.
I agree.
That's my rant.
I hate to say. Here we go. Chad Sweatman always has to throw in how Alonso sucks. It's like every day. Which he doesn't, by the way.
Yeah, Lou, tell him we're working on like some big celebs hopping on.
That's the plan.
Like, we have like some real negotiations in works right now, guys. Like, you don't realize this. I
even tried on my end a couple times, and we have feelers out there. That's where we're at right now. Feelers with let's say.
Hold on. I want to address something. Steven Smith says Blank Breaks, I'm not going to say the company's name, has way better prices, 30% less than Filthbomb on average. Hashtag big facts. Yo, can I just say something to Steven Smith? Who cares about price, bruh? Because at the end of the day, there's no breaker messing with me, period. The experience I provide is worth more than any percent of money that you're going to save if you go elsewhere. Facts. That's hashtag big facts. And I don't care. I will say it. Go break wherever you want, but I'm going to give you 150%. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because I love it, and I am doing this to give you guys the best possible experience. Facts. If you want to save $3 on a $10 team, go do it, bro. Spend $7. Crush it. If you want to spend $70 on a $100 team, go do it. That's cool. But the community, the experience you will get here at Filthbomb Breaks will tramp, or whatever the word I'm looking for, trump any other.
Big T word, baby.
Facts, baby. Facts. Yeah. That's big facts.
Yeah. I agree. I've told you this from day one. You're an entertainer. You're way beyond breaking. You didn't want to hear that at the beginning, but now you're warming up to it. Because it's true. Listen, I've seen a million breaks. I don't give a shit what the prices are. They're boring. If I paid something 50% less than your price, but I'm falling asleep and not watching the break because I can't deal with it, versus the fun that we have here, worth every penny to me.
I'm not even being cocky. Like, my brother, I'm not even going to say who it was. He was looking at one of our competitors yesterday because he was trying to see like what other people do. And he was like, yo, how do people watch this? You know what I mean? That's my brother who knows nothing about the hobby. He's like, yo, this is trash. And this is somebody that fills a lot of breaks every single day. They're a big name. So the
I told you. I think I know who you're talking about. I said that to you 2 months ago. Do you remember? I'm not saying the name either, but I said, listen, they always fill, but I can't listen to them talk.
But the reason why we are not as big as we will be, well, we are big if you look at how far we've come in such a small period of time. It's just word of mouth. It's just time, man. There's no substitute for time. So you need to just keep grinding, and eventually people are going to hear. People are going to find out. People are going to be, and you'll see the more people that come, they stay. We don't really lose people to other people. Other people lose people to us. Facts again. The numbers speak.
Now, I wouldn't even worry about it. I tell you this all the time. And I don't even know. Come on. I tell you, it's not like I'm just agreeing with you. I tell you this all the time because you never sleep. You're like a vampire. All you do is thinking about the next thing. What about this? What about that? I'm like, dude, one thing at a time. This Barstool 2.0, you're like ready right now across the board. Merchandise. Come on. We're way ahead of the game. Way ahead. I don't know anybody else who does the podcast. Listen, we might not be, I don't know, Mike and the Mad Dog, but we do a podcast. Why? Because we want to give back. It's fun. We want to get everybody included. Like, come on. Nobody else does this.
No, that's facts. The best is that's the easiest way to get me riled up, though. You want to talk about price? Woo-wee! Because you know what? At the end of the day, you have to be more expensive, though. You have to be more expensive if you offer more to your customers. Like, I have 4 employees now. Like, people don't have employees. 99% of the breakers don't have employees. The big boys do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You get what you pay for, right? That's what it is.
You mess with us, you know you're going to get somebody else's cards. That's
That's funny.
But no, it's true though, man. Like at the end of the day, like people say it all the time, like, "Oh, you're way more expensive." But bro, you think I don't know?
Not really.
Like, but do you think I don't know that I'm a little more expensive than some people? Like you think I guess my prices? Like I don't. My prices are the way they are because you have to look at your costs and you have to look at my expenses, and I charge what I have to charge. You know what I mean? Like, if I didn't have a retail storefront I'm getting into, I could charge less. If I wasn't employing 4 people, I could charge less. If I was doing it for my kitchen table, I could charge less.
All right. If you had this and that, yada, yada, you could charge less. It's almost 1 o'clock. Let's get this over with.
All right. Anyway.
Hey, tomorrow, I'm putting you on the spot in front of everybody. Tomorrow, podcast, noon. Yes?
I'm in.
All right.
I'll let you know, though.
Exactly. Exactly. We went live today at 12:15. We were sitting here since 11:45.
Yeah. Big.
Do you know what's funny, by the way? And I got to say this. Do you realize every time we're talking about things, what we should talk about, that's a podcast in itself. We should never even discuss it and just go live the second we're on.
Everything we say is gold, basically. That's what you're saying?
Honestly, I think so. I think for 2 guys who just talk without really any script, I think we're really ahead of the game. Imagine if we had like a studio and like a production officer type thing.
I don't want to cut you off, Lou, but
yeah, you do. You always do.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today to the Filthbomb podcast. Really appreciate it. On behalf of myself, Stephen Michael, Lou Zolo, and all brands associated with Filthbomb Brace, we want to thank you for giving us the opportunity and allowing us to podcast for you live today on the Filthbomb podcast. And until the next break, till the next Casebox Packer podcast, we're signing off saying, sayonara, bro, tinies. Catch you on the flip side.